All right. Hello and everyone, and I hope things are okay with you, and I hope you are fighting there, fighting your own battle, because every one of us is fighting their own battle in their own way. So stop judging each other, and let's support each other and spread love and support for everyone. Let's not judge each other. So today I'm going to talk to you about a very interesting remedy. Um, I think one of the first remedies we study in homeopathy. But what I'm going to talk to you today about is a little bit about the mental picture of drug picture of Arnica montana. We all know Arnica, the most important remedy for any types of injuries, isn't it? But today I'm going to talk to you about what is the mental state of Arnica. How is the mental status of Arnica? What do I see in Arnica drug picture? So these are some ideas I'm going to share with you. Arnica belongs to the Compositae family or Astrid family, very closely linked to Solanaceae family, Loganiaceae family. Now, why I tell you this is also because we will now study a little bit of connection between this and the other families and understand Arnica. So, main thing about Arnica, what I believe is very important in today's time, is what you will see are people who are, number one, very strong, very dictatorial, very domineering, very dogmatic, almost talking in a very commanding type. A very important feature of them is they are very stoic, very strong, very hard. What does stoic mean? What does stoic mean? Stoic means even in pain, even in suffering, even in difficulty, they remain very strong. Smiling, talking of their serious symptoms. So when you talk to them at a general level, and I'm not talking about use of arnica in coma or in typhoid, that's different. That's the acute state of arnica. You have to start understanding that there are different stages of remedies, and I'm trying to give you a chronic picture of arnica, chronic mental picture of arnica. So they smile when talking about your serious symptoms as well. They are people who are very concerned about their integrity. They are people who you may think about are people who are um, very conscious about right and wrong, very conscious. Dignity is a very important word, and that's why you'll often think about Staphysaegria. They're very dignified. Ignatia, very dignified, very competitive physically. Let's see some more symptoms of Arnica. This is how I build the pictures, step by step, understanding rubric by rubric. So when I start looking at the rubrics of Arnica, I'm able to quickly see which of these states belong to an acute state and which of them belong to a chronic state. You should be able to understand that while studying it. For example, let's try to understand this. This very famous symptom of Arnica, answering. Stupor returns quickly while answering aversion to answers, refuses to answer, difficult answer, incorrect. This whole picture of answering, which we learn in our college time, this is actually a acute state of Arnica. This you will often see in a comatose state, in a typhoid state, in a delirious state, because Arnica is especially indicated in brain related injuries, edemas. So that's when you will see this state. You will not see this state in a chronic state. Very important for you to know. Arnica at a deeper level will also be very anxious. They can be quite anxious, but especially anxiety about conscience, and that's why right and wrong. Pierre Schmidt. Schmidt is a very authentic author. They can also be very anxious about their future, but also about their health, and can often be hypochondriacal, very anxious, and that's why You will also see in Arnica a kind of audacity. What is audacity? Foolishly brave. So they will be very brave, very courageous. You connect this to what Massimo has written. Very interesting rubric. He has written about being heroic. There are people who want to who tend to do really strong things in pain and suffering, and that's why there's another very interesting rubric: indifference to pain, indifference, stoical to what happens. Remains very stoic. Interesting. Just see the way I'm building the pictures. Huh? This is the art portion of homeopathy. Many of my friends, students who are watching me, they tell me, "Sir, you go very fast. Art is long, life is short. Opportunity transient, judgment difficult." And that's why on a Sunday I'm making this video for you. Because maybe in a Sunday evening there isn't much for me to do. If you believe that. So I was talking to you about very audacious. In a crisis moment, they can be very averse to everything. They don't want to talk. They don't want to do anything. They're beside themselves. They're very sensitive to being touched. Not just physically, but also emotionally. They're very sensitive to being touched. Interestingly. Nair has given a very interesting rubric. Cheerfulness, thoughtless. Interesting, no? So they are in that state, you know. Sometimes they can be in this kind of state, but they're just cheerful. They're not thinking about past, they're not thinking about future. Like almost in a state of dream-like state, confusion of mind, dream-like state. They don't like contradiction or being contradicted, so they are very dictatorial, typically. They can be very cursing. They can curse a lot. There's an interesting rubric by Nair. Cursing, desire, rage after. Interesting. Another Herring has given very interesting rubric. Defiant. So in a difficulty, they will give a lot of resistance. They are people who have a very strong threshold of pain, of suffering. Strong threshold. But during pain, sometimes in a later stage, they'll just say, you know, I know I'm going to die. Death conviction of neuralgia in. Interesting, huh? Now we are going to study delusions of Arnica. Sometimes they have a feeling that, you know, their disease is incurable. They get this kind of status. They are not scared. They are not scared. They are scared internally, but they will never show it to you. So like Ignatia is silent grief, grief undemonstrative. Maybe Arnica has fear undemonstrative. So artistic. At a deeper level, you might see Arnica having a lot of dreams and especially fear. Dreams of dark. Delusion sees black. I told you there is a connection of Arnica and Solanaceae family. Delusion sees mutilated body. You imagine the kind of terror that is there inside him. Delusion well, he says. Very interesting. Hahnemann has given this rubric: dictatorial, commanding, talking in airways. So you can understand how dictatorial Arnica can be. It's Hahnemann who's saying it. A lot of dreams of animals, black animals. Dreams tormenting, dreams being buried alive. You can imagine. Another remedy, Chelidonium, Chelidonium papaversi. Being buried alive while sleeping on the back. There's a lot of this kind of fear. Cats, dreams of cats. Dreams of dead people while sleeping. Dreams of dying. Dreams of himself dying, surrounded by bed, surrounded by his friends. So you can imagine this is the kind of death conviction we are talking about. This is the kind of fear. Dogs, black dogs. Again, I told you, very close to Solanaceae. Dream exhausting, excelling in mental work. This is also there. Lot of frightful dreams. Hahnemann in his provings have given a lot of dreams, frightful, nightmare, waking him, screaming, waking. You can imagine the kind of fright that is there. Only two remedies given by Hahnemann. This is an important rubric. Note it down. Dreams of graves, dreams of hair, ill treatment of people. Lot of sexuality also. Huh? Dreams of murder, of murderers, mutilation. You can imagine the kind of injury. Mutilation and injury, and that's the main theme of soul analysis. Persistent. Huh? Dreams of suffocation. They're very, very clear dreams, vivid dreams. So you understand this is the picture. There's a lot of fright, there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of excitement. Interesting. What else do I want to tell you? Let's talk about the fears of Arnica. Fears of being approached, we know this, unless he be touched. We know about this. But there's also a lot of deeper fear of being alone, fear of death at night, fear of sudden death, near, fear of death in heart complaints. So there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of panic. But they may not show this so easily. Huh? A lot of fear inside. A lot of fear of injuries, of being touched, we talk. But there is the opposite polarity, fearlessness also. Hahnemann writes that Arnica has this very important, he wants to fight. It's a person who's a very kind of a fighter, heroic, well says when very sick. Interestingly, grief from financial loss. Phatak has given this as a very important remedy. What else can I tell you about Arnica? You know, I'm understanding this picture while I'm talking to you because I study about this in provings. Huh? There's a lot of lamenting alternating with anger. Lamenting means like shrieking with a lot of complaining. Lamenting in sleep. Huh? I remember Phatak has given an indication. I'll talk to you about it in the end. Very interesting rubric. Maybe I'll tell you. Has given a symptom in Phatak mind. I want you to understand this symptom, if I can find it for you. Sensation of being good for nothing. They constantly feel good for nothing. I'm of no use. This is Arnica. Interesting, huh? Yeah. Very important for coma, and I'll make another video about coma and Arnica a little later. But today was just an idea about how to think about Arnica in chronic states. Look at the rubrics of Arnica. Weeping aggravates. Only 22 remedies. One of them is Arnica. They don't want to show their emotions. They don't want to be touched at an emotional level. Weeping rage after. Well says when very sick. This I told you what it means. Nair has given a rubric, work desire for mental, hard and long. So they are kind of people who in pain, they want to go there, work hard, do something, do this kind of mental labor, do something special. This is the whole picture of Arnica, ladies and gentlemen, on a Sunday evening for you. So I hope you understand this remedy, and I hope some of you are able to understand this remedy and connect it to the pathology. Very important for varicose vein in chronic state, very important for rheumatism, for symmetrical skin eruptions, for so many skin pathologies, so many rheumatic pathologies, venous pathology, heart pathologies. I think it's a remedy. We just think about injury, that's it, but it's a big polycrush remedy you could use. So these are some ideas. I hope you use them, I hope you think about them, and I hope that we evolve ourselves and we really, really touch the acme of our profession. Because really, the kind of joy you will get when you're reaching the best version of yourself, incomparable, incomparable. You don't have to worry about the world, you don't have to worry about how you're being seen as, how you're being perceived at some point in your life. Just you and your profession and your work and people who are close to you, they will matter. And rest of the things really pale, absolutely pale. So, Arnica Montana, Sunday evening. See you later.